Gentlemen, my name's Joe Mas, and today I'm going to inspire you to follow your hearts. Tall order for 5 to 7 minute speech, right? We're going to give it a shot. So over 16 months ago, I was a hopeless heroin addict.
Wow.
Totally hopeless. Begging for God to take my life for 4 months straight. Trying to kill myself through overdose 3 times. A year ago, I was living in a sober house. Totally broken. No friends, pushed everyone away, burnt every bridge. Family wanted nothing to do with me. I was broken from inside out. In that sober house, I found myself. It took a little while. It was hard. It was a struggle. But I found myself. External sources. We have no idea what's going on inside of us. And to me, even though I was trying to commit suicide last year, about 16 months ago, I was committing spiritual suicide from as early as I could remember, because I was not following my heart. And my heart was pure and it knew exactly what I wanted, what I needed, not who I wanted to be, but what I was meant to be all along. So I did some of that internal research. It took a little bit of time. I read a book, You Can't Afford the Luxury of a Negative Thought, in rehab. In that book, it talks about purpose. 5 things you do inherently, innately good. Great. You just do it without even thinking about it. It just bleeds out of you. I was so broken, I couldn't think of one thing. I had to bring it to my counselor and my peers, people that I only knew for 10 days. But I was so broken, I was so desperate, I needed to know. And my roommate that only knew me for 10 days came out and said, Joe, you're a motivator. I've been singing since I was 6 years old. My father beat me down so bad, I thought I could never sing, never could create something beautiful. I stopped singing for 10 years. I wrote 3 songs while I've been here with you. I said, okay. So it started to give me a little momentum, I would say. But it wasn't until a few months later when I was in that sober house, I was listening to Les Brown, very powerful preacher and motivational speaker. And what he talks about is, if you're laying on your deathbed and surrounding you are the ghosts of your talents, ideas, abilities, aspirations, and they're looking at you saying, we came to you. We came to you to give us life. But you squandered it. And now we're going to die with you. And he said, the wealthiest place in the world is not the Federal Reserve, it's not some bank, it is the graveyard. Because at the graveyard are all those ideas, all those gifts and abilities that people didn't have the courage to express with the world. And they're dying. That hit me so hard. Because I never liked certain terms. But that just inspired me. And I started thinking about those ghosts. And I saw myself as a football player, as a basketball player, captain, riling people around, getting people all wound up and excited. I saw myself acting, but not taking drama class because I was a jock and people thought it was corny. Fear of what other people thought of me. I saw myself writing poetry when my cousin got killed in a car crash, because that was the only way I could express myself in a positive way rather than punching a hole in the wall or using more drugs. But stopping that because out of fear I was corny or how I would look in other people's lives. So, that day about a year ago, I set goals, okay? I wrote down my dreams. I wrote down those goals. Motivational speaker, actor, writer. Where did I get the audacity to do that? I'm living in a sober house, $100,000 in debt, okay? Right? Everybody that I love or ever cared about, totally gone. Totally spiritually depleted. But I knew right then, that's what I was meant to be. These are the gifts that God blessed me with. And listen, God doesn't give you gifts for you to hold on to it. That's selfish. He gives those gifts to you for you to embrace it and express it with the world, for you to share with your peers. So I took full advantage of it. Now, my whole life, my brother called me a dreamer. You're a dreamer, with a negative connotation. And he was right. But the only difference between a dreamer and a visionary is one word: action. Action. I took immediate action and immersed myself. First step to becoming a motivational speaker. Got to sign up for Toastmasters, right?
Yeah.
I got to sign up. I got to develop my craft. Signed up for Toastmasters. I started writing with a friend in the house. I had an idea for a script about recovery and about the struggles we go through. Because people know about the struggles of addiction. No idea about the struggles of recovery when you start feeling things again. And you don't know which way to turn. Started writing. Okay? Started expressing myself. Now, over the last 4 months, things have happened magical. Because I started taking action towards my gifts, my dreams, my abilities. And something happened. I had a year of sobriety on July 1st. Okay? I've been working 10 years to get this year. 2 weeks later, I got diagnosed with diverticulitis. I woke up in miserable pain, couldn't walk. Next day, started losing my vision. 103 fever. The girl I was with rushed me to the hospital. I was dying. I had diverticulitis. I had a bad infection. My white blood cells, your white blood cells are supposed to be 5,000. Mine were at 30,000. I was hurting. I was in the hospital for 12 days. Didn't eat or drink anything for 10. Again, had that spiritual darkness, you know. But I got out of it because I had people that loved me and surrounded themselves with me and gave me that power. They put a pick in my arm, okay, that I needed to take these strong antibiotics for 30 days. Couldn't work, couldn't do anything. And I was out in great shape. I was helping people. I was living life again. And it was taken, right? And the old me would have been like, why did this happen to me? Because I constantly asked all the wrong questions and questioned all the right answers growing up. But that didn't happen to me. See, that happened for me. And I'll explain why. I started going after my dreams and my goals and my aspirations. What happened was I started getting a little complacent. I got a girl, I got a job, all these things that make you feel okay and normal. You know, that illusion that it's okay to not follow this. Your brain telling you you aren't going to make it anyway. Let's do what's safe. Because our brains are designed to talk us out of what's uncomfortable. But what happened was, and I say it like this, I realized something that day. Curiosity killed the cat. Everybody's heard that term? Who's heard that term? Say aye.
Aye.
And it damn near did. But I have a term that I use. Complacency killed the lion.
Go ahead.
Okay?
Go ahead.
Complacency killed the lion. And that is the truth. A lion doesn't have time to be complacent. He's got to hunt. He's got to run for him, for his family. Nobody wakes him up. He wakes himself up. And that is the power. And I'm not being conceited. I'm just being damn self-confident.
Yes.
Okay? Because I have a power greater than me in my life right now.
All right.
All right? I have God in my life. I have a higher power. And great line from the book, all men of faith have courage. Well, I'm a person that's been filled with fear. That's why I use drugs, alcohol, all that stuff. I could get through anything if I have faith. That's what I needed to hear. And knowing that I was being complacent, that didn't happen to me, it happened for me. Over the last 4 months, this is what happened. I'm going to run this through real quick because I know my time's up. All right? I got my script that I wrote registered with the Writers Guild Awards, so nobody can steal that. That's mine now. I'm developing the pilot script so I can start pitching it with my friend. Okay? Somebody I met here, and you want to talk about being able to connect the dots, faith, and looking back on how everything aligns. Someone I met in Toastmasters heard me speaking about my icebreaker speech. Then my second speech was about the movement I wanted to start, redefining the word cool, going to speak to kids in schools about not following their vision of cool, trying to fit in, and understanding and finding their uniqueness and expressing it. He liked what I had to say. He believed in me enough to take my name down and say, Joe, I know you want to open up your own nonprofit. I have a nonprofit. Could I get your foot in the door? I said, yes, of course. He said, I'm going to speak at Muslim schools, though. Is that okay? I'm like, of course. I love everyone. I went from hating everyone to loving everyone. Because we're all in this together. I'm like, I would love to do that. What an experience. I signed up for Central Casting, the first step towards acting, background acting, getting your name out there.
Go ahead, Joe.
Now, last week, two things that I had deep down in the dark belly of my heart, I accomplished. I signed up for Central Casting on Tuesday. On Wednesday, I was in my first film. Yesterday, I was in Law and Order SVU.
Go ahead.
Thursday, I'm going to be in on top of that, Thursday was my first speaking engagement in an all-Muslim school. It was beautiful. I met up with Shahid. He sent me a flyer and on it said, motivational speaker, Joe Mas. And I remember being at work, in the back of work, smoking a cigarette in the dumpster, like by the dumpsters, and seeing it and just crying. Just crying. This last year, I was in a sober house. What gave me the right to say I want to be a motivational speaker, an actor, a writer, and do all those things? What gave me that right? And I was crying. I spoke again at a school today. And the girl asked me, because at the end I asked some questions, and the girl said, because I told her I have the same dreams now that I did when I was a little boy, but I didn't have faith. I didn't have that courage. And just so you know, courage, that word is broken down. It comes from the Latin word cor, which literally means heart. So courage is acting from the heart. And she said to me, why didn't you lose your dreams back then? Because she heard about all the things that happened and all the lost. I said, love, your dreams are never lost. Dreams are never lost. You just bury them deep down in the basement so you can't see them, so it doesn't hurt every time you don't act on them. So you have to go digging. So I implore you, I want you so bad, because let me tell you something. I'm so proud to be a drug addict. And I'm so grateful for my addiction. Because that was the treasure map to my soul. That was a guide for me to find out who I really am and what I was always meant to do. And it gave me the strength to dig it up, because there's some digging involved. And you need some strength for that. And it gave me the courage to embrace and express it with the world. So dreams are never lost.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to go in the basement and dig them out.
Oh, hello.
With that, thank you.